Yeah.
Sweet. Okay.
Pleasure to
Let's
meet
get
you,
this
Evan.
show on the road. Ed, how's everything going today?
Everything's great. It's been a cool day of school. Just finished pretty early around 3 o'clock today and hung
You
out
have
with my
classes today?
friends. Um, I mean, we had some assignments due because I have a couple online classes and they'll have just set due dates like through the syllabus, like they'll be set. So I had like a discussion post to reply to.
Oh, all
Nothing
right.
too
All
serious.
right.
Yeah.
Not serious at all. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'll take that. I'll take that for a day at work, huh? What do you think, Matt?
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah,
Thanksgiving's
so thanks for
tomorrow
coming
too,
on.
so
Oh,
Oh yeah.
true. Ed, so we're starting out this podcast. We want to try and like make a source for like interviewing business owners, entrepreneurs, what it kind of takes, both like mindset wise and like moves wise. This is not something that's going to grow overnight, over months, a year. We're looking at this more of like we're thinking like, 20 plus year project, just something on the side, 1 to 2 events a month. And
Right.
we appreciate you bringing on for it's our like second episode, quote unquote, but you're going to be the first like business owner interview. And the idea is get the ball rolling. We can be comfortable. It's just a conversation. And hopefully down the road, we can really like bring some fire, interview
Right.
again, see what the changes are. Um, and if we build some traction, maybe go with like a hedge fund, real estate company in the future, NFT project. We'll see where it goes.
Oh yeah. It's a pleasure to be on.
Yeah, so thanks. Hey, so first, in your own words, let's kick this off. Some heat.
All right.
In your own words, what is Winter Park detailing? And take us back, like say to the beginning. Where and when did your project begin?
So, in my words, Winter Park Detailing is Winter Park's premier auto spa. And with that, I mean, we travel to the customer's house and we can perform any sort of auto detailing um, actions at their house without them even having to leave their house. And I would say it started back when I was really, I would say 14, 15. I developed a real interest in cars because my dad's a big car guy. And I started taking care of his car, my mom's car, my aunt's car, my grandparents' cars. It all started to come in. And then I had a neighbor call me and say, "Hey, I've seen you washing all your family members' cars. Could I pay you to do mine?" And I said, "Of course." And then so that was my first client who was out of the family. And at the same time, I was working a job at a company called Winter Park Bounce. And I probably met my biggest mentor in the business world through Winter Park Bounce, and he's the owner, Marcus. And Marcus took me under his wing. He showed me the ropes. He taught me how to set up the LLC on the Florida website, get everything registered, and become a legit business. And with that, I kind of hit the ground, did his work truck, and that gave me some great content for marketing online. And then started with the Instagram and what's the app called? Nextdoor. I use Nextdoor app a lot when I first started. And I would
Huh.
I would go on Nextdoor and I would post and I would say I would really tug on the heartstrings. I'd be like, I'm a high school kid looking to save up before I go to college. I've just started this detailing business. I have these skills. I would post some before and after pictures so people could get the gist of what I was doing. And then I really started to, I would get calls pretty much daily back then. And then, um, and then I really got a love for just the game and bringing in people and dealing with them. And so then I started to really take it seriously. I had a friend who he goes to SCAD, Savannah College of Art and Design, and he designed my logo, a business card, and a whole website platform for me. So I outsourced all that to him, and he killed it. And since then, it's been great.
He did. He did. Oh man, wait a minute. We got so many points. Matt, there were so
yeah.
many things I want to talk about
I
it. Wait, so first of all,
seriously.
just really quick. That first gig you said that really kind of took it off where the neighbors saw you. Was that
Mhm.
shirtless or something? I'm skeptical.
No, I was so they live directly across the street from our driveway, so they're always like their kitchen window shoots at our driveway. So literally the day I come home from college, I get a text from the lady asking if I'm detailing.
That's incredible. Location is everything.
Yep.
That's
Location
amazing.
is everything. That's pretty cool. You outsource it to a buddy at a different college. That was smart. Was that while you were still in high school, or was that wasn't recently? You've had that website for a while.
Right. That was so I revamped the website last year with my friend who's at Savannah College of Art and Design. And he was able to I told him what I wanted for the logo. Here I have.
That's when okay, so it was recent.
And like so he was able to put the R35 logo on there and just make
Love
it
it.
seamless.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
fantastic.
front and back on here, this was really helpful with like handing these out to people when they'd ask me on the sidewalk. I'd have a lot of word of mouth customers too, and a lot of people who were like walking a dog and they would see us working and they would just want to know how we do it. And I would just be able to give them this beautiful, nice business card and they would save it and call me later.
Dude, that's so important. I mean, that's like word of mouth marketing and in person. It's funny because if you were in New York in the winter, like, well, you're not going to like working on cars outside in the winter, but I did notice when I was down there, are a lot of people out in the neighborhood and such. That's pretty sweet. And now let's move to digital marketing, right? So you're saying you use Nextdoor, and you have some
Nextdoor.
good videos, TikTok,
Oh,
Instagram. Is that an app that you've been using to make these?
So I really hit the TikToks and Instagram Reels hard this past summer. And so with my high school football team, we had a contracted video recorder and editor. So he has he has drone cameras, stabilizers, he has like all the goodies for the cameras. And so I hit him up and I was like, hey, can I get contracted on a commercial? And so we originally had a 30-second commercial paired with 2 TikToks. And then I got the 2 TikToks first and I was like, wow, like they blew up instantly, 300,000 views a piece.
Wow.
I
I was
saw,
like,
yeah, Matt. Listen,
That's incredible, man.
so from there on, I was like, you know what? Let's scratch the 30-second ad and let's hit the short form content marketing. Cause I figured if I have enough to grab the attention in 10 seconds, we don't need to do it in 30 seconds,
Hmm.
especially if it could
yeah.
save me money too.
Now, how does that translate as far as like actually getting clients? Because now you're getting clients both digitally and in person from working out on the street. I mean, that's great marketing, promoting your own brand. How is that translated to customers and then to sales as far as
Um, I,
digital versus in person?
I would say that the digital clout, so to say, more so backed me up when people went to go validate Winter Park Detailing as a company, because I would say really the biggest thing that pushed us forward as a company would be the Google ad campaign. So Google ad marketing. So by using keywords, when people would go to Google to search for detailers near them or car washes nearby, we would be the first one to show up.
So
And so,
is that essentially search engine optimization? Is that what
yes, it's SEO.
SEO marketing? Fantastic. That's
And
fantastic.
that was definitely what helped us the most. And then
Wait,
I
how
would
did you
say,
get to be first? How did that? I don't understand
Yeah,
because
what's the
you have
cost
that
of that?
many.
Is there a cost behind that?
yeah, so when you set it up, the Google has a really helpful homepage, and it really helps you out because it shows you what other detailing companies are using as keywords. And so I probably had a whole 80 to 100 hot words that I typed out. And then I think I was on track to pay $600 a month
Mm.
for the first month, and we spent 480, but that I made that back with the first 2 calls I got. So it
Oh
was great.
man,
Yeah,
Return on
killed
investment.
it.
That's incredible.
it was great.
Killed it. I like that. So then use digital marketing for the brand. Brand is where it's like it gave you substance. That's what got the sales. You get the
Right.
clients from in person, and then it's like, yeah, well, look us up online, blah blah blah. They do. That's huge.
And
That's
That's really huge.
I learned all of the Google AdWords through Marcus, the Winter Park Bounce guy. He really
Mm.
showed me. I owe all of that to him. He really helped me out.
hmm.
When I told him
Mentors are big.
I
Yeah.
told him I told him I was getting
Invaluable.
a $600 ad campaign, and he was like, "You're in way over your head," and I was like, "I hope so." He was right. He was right.
And did it prove true? Yeah.
Oh yeah, the phone still rings.
From that one, no.
Yep. I ran 2 months of it this summer, and the phone is still ringing constantly.
Are you serious? Wait a minute. Now, this summer,
So,
was that May, June, July, August?
so I ran it from June and July. Those were the 2 months that I hit. Because
Hmm.
August I had to do a surgery in my foot because
Yeah.
I had stepped on something that I had to take it out.
Oh, right. Yeah. The
Hmm.
step on, the step on. Oh my God. So June, July, this is almost
That's
6 months ago.
Yep.
yeah, that's incredible.
Off of $600, for 480.
Yep.
That's wild. That's wild. We got to
Right.
go. Okay. So between digital marketing, between washing cars outside, gaining neighbors as customers, clients,
Mhm.
what's kind of like the number one move you think that where it really all started to click? Because I know you mentioned how the neighbors saw you, but like, what one was like, okay, I got something here, and was it the mentoring with Bouncy House Dude?
I I think it all started to click once. So I raised the prices before ran the Google ads. So the baseline prices were higher. And I also added a bunch more add-ons. And I would really say it started to click when I was able to practice my business skills while I was working. So I would open up the car, and if they had leather seats, I would instantly try to sell them on our leather conditioner package. And I was hitting on 90% of the times I would offer that. And just
How did you
practice
think to do
that
that?
so I did a 911 Porsche 911 Turbo, and it had leather interior. And we did the leather conditioner because the guy asked for it. And the pictures from those were so perfect that so whenever people would have leather cars, I would upsell them. I would tell them, look, we do a $25 front seats and dashboard package, or $50 all leather surface package. And it would always be the $50 all surface package. And then I would show them the pictures that I took of the 911 and how beautiful it looked, and it was a sale every time. It was really great.
Helps to have a nice car in there, doesn't
Oh, it really
it?
does.
The 911,
That's
that was in the commercial.
it's
Right.
true.
Yep.
Not, I mean, the TikTok. Yeah. What
Huh.
was all right? So along the way here, obviously a lot of successes. I mean, between the mentor is number one on the top. You can probably hear the ambulances in the back. I have to open. It was really warm up here today. I had to open the windows. But so between the mentoring, digital market like SEO, search engine optimization, pay per click was mixed in there.
Mhm.
Working in person, getting clients walking their dogs on the street. But taking a step, these are a lot of moves that hit, right? What's been a sacrifice where maybe you saw like other kids were playing video games on the weekends, other friends in high school were going on dates, hanging out with their boys, worrying about how many, or even in college now, you're still running this thing. What about in college? They're worried about how many beers they could slam on the weekend. What's been a sacrifice personal to you?
I would say that more of the party time has been cut out of my life. That I would finish working a really hard day, and instead of wanting to go out and get drunk with my friends, I'd kind of just want to like sit back, count my money, and like eat some good food. Like that's what I'd rather do. And
The finer things in life.
right. And so I think that I kind of developed more of like a mindset where I was like, I'm not going to party until I make it. Like there's no reason for me to go out and spend the money that I just worked so hard over just to just waste it all, you know. I was like, I
Right.
haven't yet. There's no reason to go party like I have.
Hmm.
And
And
that's
there's
really
still
been,
plenty of time for that. Yeah, there's
oh
still
yeah.
plenty of time for that.
Yeah. But that's
Absolutely.
been the biggest sacrifice, definitely.
Sometimes the sacrifices are like they're so minute, it's a little minutia in the day to day, and it just goes miles for the years to come. That's definitely something I noticed. The next thing I wanted that kind of leads into is would if you were like the top say three characteristics that it takes to kind of like build a bit, because I mean let's be honest, like no one else is doing this. one in high school, one at your age, managing a football, like playing football on the side. Like, let's be honest, like what, like creativity, because you came up with this, you're upselling in the process. What would
Right.
you say are the top three characteristics that you've either learned or already had in you?
I would say number one is confidence. Confidence is going to take you very far in life. I had a lot when I first started, I didn't have the most confidence, and I would have a lot of customers looking at me like, you really can't do this. Versus I started walking into jobs with the mindset that I could do it, even if in my mind that it was a little skeptical. I would always tell the customer like, no, we'll take care of it, it'll look perfect. Like, even if I was kind of iffy on it, but it always worked out. And then
Hmm.
along with the confidence, I would also say determination, because there were a lot of days where I did not want to keep going. It would get really tough. We'd be, especially working with friends, and we'd be drying cars, and we just finish one car, and then we have the customer backing out another car out of his garage to bring it to us to detail again, or not to detail another car. Like, just the stacking of work can get tough, and like kind of keeping your head on straight in that Florida sun, it
How
gets
does
tough.
that feel? Yeah. That's
Oh
in
yeah.
the middle of the day, 98 degrees out. They're backing
So
out their next car.
yeah, heat exhaustion is very for real. We got to keep a lot of waters on the car. I fill up a cooler full of waters, at least 10 or 12 every day. Yeah, it's
Wow.
fun.
Now, do you get
You gotta
paid
get a
full
water
price for the
sponsorship.
second?
Oh yeah, we should work on that.
Did you get paid full price for the second car?
Oh yeah, we always get paid full price per each car. We don't have like a bulk deal.
Okay, okay. So they're backing out the second car. Like, did you know you were gonna have to do that, or
Oh yeah, definitely. But there's times if the customer asks if we want to take on another job, I'll always ask the employees before I take on the job,
yeah.
because it's always, if they're not going to be able to give their all, I don't want to do it. But there's also, we've had times where we'll be in like a new neighborhood in a new part of town, and we'll just be over there. So we'll go door knocking. And so we'll go and knock on a few neighbors' doors and say, hey, we're here in the area. We can drop the price by 20% right now and get you done. And that's worked really well too, just as a way of
Oof.
spreading our clientele. Like, there was one day we did, so my dad's barber wanted us to come in and clean the interior of his car. And so we came in, did a shampoo on the seats and everything. And then, so we were out near UCF area over near the college. And I was like, okay, there's clearly a lot of college kids. So we just went and knocked on the next door. And what do you know, four girls who wanted the outsides of their cars washed. And so we just hit them at $40 a piece, and that was an easy $200
Wow.
or 160.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
oh man, that's
Yeah.
pretty fun. What days are you doing this though? So give me like a Monday through Friday. You're in classes. You're in school. Are you in school like classes every single day?
So right now, this fall, I'm doing online classes, so I have a lot more time in my hands. And I have I have a friend who's working here with me, he's like ready like whenever I am. So when we get a job, we'll schedule it, but we're not marketing too hard right now, because school is always going to come first. I want to go to secondary school, and I want to like go farther, so I have to get good grades right now.
What do you mean secondary school?
Like, I want to go to law school eventually.
Do you? Yeah, you're
I
thinking
do.
about it?
I do.
Really?
Hmm.
So wait, your major is, well, I know.
I'm
Tell us about your
majoring in
major and how you
I'm
think, yeah.
I'm majoring in sports journalism right now. So that's a lot of writing on me. And I'm gonna
Hmm.
use that writing as a way to help prepare me for the LSAT and help me just form better like contracts and help me just write better in general.
Could help from a business perspective as well.
Right.
Contracts and
Right. I started out in business school, and I was kind of iffy on it. I was like, I started this business myself. I've kind of experienced a lot of this. I just felt like I'd rather go to more of a writing based program.
so
Interesting.
yeah. So like law school is going to take up a lot of time. There's a question that I did want to ask you. Like what are your plans in terms of like scaling your business? Are you going to have time to do that also while going to school full time? But are you bringing in another partner?
So
Uh,
what I'm planning on doing is switching from basic details to more paint correction oriented details, where it's higher end clients, higher ticket. You're only doing the outside, the paint, like the nitty gritty paint work, and like you're protecting the cars for a very long time. So like they come in one time and they don't need to be seen for a long time. And then that's what I'd be looking to do. But also I'd be okay with selling the title and everything and moving on eventually, because this was just the first step in what I want to do in life.
Hmm. Potentially selling it, yeah, cashing out. You see a lot. That's
hmm,
become a big part of our culture in business. Matt, I'm sure you could touch on this, where a lot of people, especially startups, they like to build something up and sell it. I guess it gets to a point
happens
where
all the
you need to
time.
see how. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It gets to a point where you got to see kind of balance, see what direction you want to go, see what kind of offers are kind of there, and then I don't know. There's something about the difference between like building something up and cashing out, and then also building something up so that it lasts. I don't know. I mean, either way, you're learning all these things at once. That's pretty phenomenal. Did like how are you able to relate with your business class? I know you mentioned a couple things, but like were you under like explaining things to other students in the class because they had no idea, they just came out of high school and all they did was like collect an allowance every week?
Right. And I felt like the business classes more in college were more focused on larger businesses and really stuff that's going to be not attainable to a young entrepreneur who's looking to get his feet off the ground. Like they weren't teaching us how to register for an LLC, how to call an insurance company, explain the skills you know how to do, and explain to them that you're not going to mess up people's cars. Like they weren't helping us with that.
That's real world experience that is not taught in the school system, and that's a whole nother topic that we can go to. um, so you seem like a cool, calm, and collected guy. How do you handle your stress of like this everyday life?
Oh, it can be a lot. I have a lot of outlets. I like to vent to my parents and my good friends, like especially with employees. Like I'm really close with my employees, so like if there's a client who's giving us a hard time, like we'll just like go to the car and just like let it all out for like 5 minutes and then just go back all smiles and act like it never happened.
That's
But
pretty
like
That's
good.
good.
Acting
I've
like
learned
never
that
happened, yeah.
it's important to kind of be able to fake it and put on that smile and let the customers know that you're there for them, you know?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep. Oh
That's
yeah. Got to deal with patience every day. I know exactly what you're talking about.
and the customer's always right, right?
Right.
That's
Always.
it's that's good. I am intrigued. So in terms of listeners and people that will be watching this video, right? If
Mhm.
knowing what you know now, if you were to go back and do this all over again, what are a couple things that you would change or do differently?
Um, I think my hiring process would be a lot different. When I
Hmm.
first started off, I hired a really close friend and he kind of fizzled
Hmm.
out, lost a lot of interest. And I ended up having to cut ties with him and on a work relationship. Like I'm still friends with him, don't get me wrong, but like I could never have him work with me again. And I would say that
Hmm.
just being able to like hone in and make sure that I want someone who wants to grow with me and not someone who's going to hold me back where when I'm feeling held back, that was not a good feeling. That was probably one of my toughest times.
How would you mitigate that? Kind of like looking back, how to, so you said like pick your employees. Did you come up with a new process? Is there a certain characteristic you're looking for? Is there a certain characteristic you're looking to not bring on in someone?
Yeah, so when I first brought on the first friend that I brought on, he was really like he was one of the first kids I asked and he said yes, and we just kind of went from there. Versus the way I found my second employee who's now working with me now, it was it was more of I was doing it by myself at this point, and I was like, all right, I'm growing, like I need help. And so I remembered I played football with this kid and I remembered his brother didn't go to college and his brother worked in construction. So I knew he had like that hard work ethic in him. And so I called him up one day and I was like, hey, what are you doing? He was like, oh, I'm working at Publix full time right now. I was like, all right. like, how about you come work with me? And like,
Mm.
we start practicing, and just, he loved it. Like, I was paying him double what he was making at the grocery store. And like, we were hanging out afterwards. It was great.
And this was first employee or second?
Second employee.
What awesome, awesome. So he hard worker, right?
Hard worker.
Ready to
Yeah.
go to work.
Really put it
So
down.
what are some red flags in hindsight? What are some red flags the first employee that didn't quite work out and you needed more help? What are some red flags looking back before he started working for you that you think you could have kind of predicted what was going to happen?
Okay. I would say he was very money oriented. Like, there was a point where we would have to bring on more workers, and so that would lower the amount that we would all make. And so I remember vividly getting a text from him like, "Hey, why did I make X amount?" versus another employee from the same day that I brought on thanking me for the amount of money that he made. And I was just like, like, this isn't gonna work out too well. But I would say before, um, I wouldn't say there were too many red flags about what would have happened. We weren't the closest of friends before. I would say this definitely brought us closer as friends, but before, I would have had no signs that this would have happened.
Interesting. Yeah, I get you. You learn them over time, right? So
Right.
the second guy, number two, was awesome. Worked at Publix. What did number one do?
Number one also worked at Publix before too, to be honest. So it was pretty funny.
Huh.
But I think it turned into more of a situation where he got too comfortable working for me. Like, he would be okay with me waiting on him in the mornings to get ready. And just, he would go out the night before that we would have work at 7 o'clock in the morning. Like, it wasn't a good situation.
Mm, mm-hmm. Mm.
Yeah,
That'll
that's
do it.
Yep.
yeah.
That'll
He
do it.
kind of just lost his determination. And I was like, so to end it, I had to tell him, I called him and I was like, "Hey man, do you think you could come over to my house?" And he was like, "Yeah." And so we sat down in the backyard, and I was like, "Hey, so I don't think this is going to work out. I don't think there's any chance of us growing this business together." And he was like, "Okay, like, I understand. Like, can you just reach out to me if there's ever any more business?" And I was like, "Yeah." And
All right.
Hey, that's the difficult thing sometimes as a business owner, manager,
oh yeah,
cutting ties is
Most
not easy, but
definitely one of the most difficult things I had to do.
yeah, for sure.
That is not something fun. Yeah. Mm,
So
yeah.
we're on the latter end of this discussion per se, I guess you want to say. I have one more question I'd like to ask you, just in terms of who watches this, who listens into this. What advice, tips would you give to someone that is looking to start their own business from an entrepreneur mindset
Okay, I would
that they
tell
can
them
take?
I would tell them to always keep their head up, that it will always work out, that there's always going to be a chance for your small business to make it. And as long as you keep working and you stay focused to what you believe in, I think that your time will come. And when your time comes, you got to put your pedal to the floor and show them that your chance is what you make of it.
I love it.
Words of wisdom. Amazing.
Words
Thank
of wisdom. I had another couple, but it's what's as far as the next move. If you were gonna take the next to grow, or maybe to increase the price, or to increase the geographic location, bring on another employee, what's the next move for you to kind of keep this going, or maybe it's not to keep it going?
So I would say the next move for right now would to be go brick and mortar and only do paint correction work, which is that higher ticket $600 starting jobs, but that $600 is going to protect you for 6 years on the road where you won't need a wax. So there's a reason that people are going to pay the ticket, especially in the area that I'm in, and having the 4 years of experience will really help me kind of boost ahead of the other detailers in the area.
Mm, I like that. Are you gonna do it?
I think so, because the Mr. Bouncy House he owns 6 storage units, and those storage units are big enough to fit a car. And then I would run if you've ever seen like the hexagon lighting, I would run that so it looks really good on Instagram and videos, and
Oh,
just run the marketing up.
Fantastic.
Mhm.
that would be a good move. But you
Right.
can only do it like in the summers, I'm assuming, huh?
Right. Summers. And then I could do the same gig where I'm coming down from Gainesville, because Gainesville to Orlando is only 2 hours.
2 hours. Like, when are you going to travel 2 hours? I mean, you can work in remote, right? You can on a Saturday, but you have to wake up early. You got to expect you're going to get late. Maybe not too late on a Saturday. You could do a gig or two, right?
Right. And I wake up early too. And it's easy to stack jobs for us, because we'll give the clients a 15 to 30 minute time window. And that'll kind of give them like area where we're gonna show up, and they know that, but we have 15 minutes to kind of play with.
I know you do wake up early. I texted you early this morning. I was up for a while. I was like, oh, I meant to send this out because once I leave the door, I gotta get in like patient mode, patient care mode, and like
Right.
I sent them questions and then I sent it to you. I was like, oh, maybe I should send Evan just an idea. Like, oh, I knew you were up early. That was impressive. Do you usually
Every
get up that
morning
early
I'm
every
up.
day?
Every morning. I
What
feel
time?
like
What's your wake up time?
So my wake up time averages 7 to 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Today it was 6, but I feel like if I wake up anytime past 8 or 9, I feel like my day is just halfway gone. I'm
I
most
love it.
productive in the
Same
morning.
way.
I just like to dial in and get my stuff done early.
Right. And then you can wind down even earlier, right? Right.
Right.
Like even now it's starting to get into that zone. What's do you
Seriously.
think that's played a part into kind of your attitude, your ambition, and kind of how you've disciplined yourself over time to get to this point? Whereas other people, maybe in college, high school, we could go on, right? Have not kind of gotten there.
Oh, definitely. And I think I really see that a lot being in a fraternity in my college. I have a lot of friends who live the degenerate life where they'll sleep in until 12, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And it's like, I'm like, bro, I did 8 assignments already. You just woke up. You haven't even brushed
What are you doing?
Yeah. But
That's incredible.
also seeing that lets me know how well I'm doing compared to the other kids my age. But I also don't want to have to look at that and slow down. So I like to my friend group at home, I have a lot of entrepreneurial friends. Like my one friend Tyler that you know, Brendan,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
he's doing an NFT project right now, and he's balls deep busy with that. And it's been really cool to watch.
Really? What's it about? What is he looking? What is he doing with it?
So it's called Gas Guzzlers NFT, and the incentive is you buy their gas guzzler, and it saves you money on future gas transactions on blockchains. So it's a pretty cool
Really?
idea.
That's a great idea.
And it's
That's a
been
good
working
idea.
pretty well for them. I'm in the Discord, and they've got some guys who own like over 10 of them. So it's pretty cool. It's cool to
Oh,
see.
so this is
Yeah,
launched and
they've
everything.
already minted. They're fully in.
Oh, wow. So, oh man, so this has been going on for some time.
Yeah, you should definitely interview him too. I can send you his information too.
Dude, let's do it. Awesome. Would
Yeah,
you
that'd be
want to be on there with us to interview him with us?
Of course. We went to
That'd be great
elementary
because,
school together. He's like my best friend.
very cool.
yeah. Oh, dude, let's do it. That'd be awesome. Yeah. And
Awesome.
yeah,
Sweet.
that's perfect timing because we're going to segue now. We want to try what we're doing actually, just to kind of give you, we want to kind of go in this and kind of share the elements as we grow. We're absorbing it. We're allowing other people to pick up. We're going to kind of just go through all the like I said in the beginning, all the elements of what the moves and mindset takes for success, right? What did like how creative you get in creating. I mean, seriously, like Winter Park detailing, you created this from scratch, right? This isn't like you were Instagram copying Snapchat. This was your baby. You got it from scratch. You went and found a mentor who's going to help you. There's so much to learn from this, and just extracting that information and tips and stuff is huge. I think it's amazing. It's really hard in like Matt and I's schedule and your schedule to come on here. So we really appreciate that.
Yeah,
But it's like, dude,
definitely.
sharing content and creating communities, this is what the now is, and it's about the future. There's so much that's going to come from this. Our
A
thing
lot of
now is
valuable information. Absolutely.
yeah, and it's going to be fun. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create a document to kind of break up each of these question and answers. We send it all, we outsource it, kind of like you outsource the logo and the website, get it back. Now we have clips. And by sharing, hopefully we'll, in like 2 to 3 months, and as you know, patience, right? Patience is such an important factor. I mean, you weren't going to get a slam dunk TikTok on the first post, the second post, like, doesn't always work that way.
Yep.
Things like that. So yeah, we're hoping like to grow that way and really just make a community, dude. Like, Matt, I'm sure you agree. Anyone could come on and be a part of these interviews and talk and kind of brainstorm.
It's cool to hear. Yeah, it's cool to hear a backstory, how it all started, how it, the trials and tribulations of, fighting and becoming successful and building a business. I mean, the podcast is called Moves and Mindset. And I think, we can get a lot of valuable information from every one of these guys that are successful. So, and girls,
including yourself, right? And Ev, like, we're going to interview you again. And we're going to see what the next move was, what the next company is, how you're doing in law school,
Yeah, we could do like a 2-year, 1 year or 2 year, that'd be interesting to see how much more. Yeah. If he doesn't sell it for millions.
Yeah. Dude, awesome. Evan, I'm really looking forward to when you come up to New York. Maybe we can even get together with Matt. We'll figure it out, dude. It's going to be nice.
Awesome.
That would be awesome.
All right, man. Thanks for coming on tonight. We'll catch up soon.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, guys.
Absolute pleasure, man.
All right. Take it easy.
Yeah, likewise.
All right.